The Dynamics 365 Finance Accounts Payable module helps organizations efficiently and effectively manage their liabilities. We will be reviewing the vendors, transactions, and finally take a quick look at vendor invoicing. So for now, let's navigate to the vendor master and create a new vendor. We'll click on the navigation pane, Accounts Payable, Vendors, All Vendors. On this screen, you see all vendors for the current legal entity. Click on New and start creating a new vendor. The General tab includes basic information about vendors, including vendor groups. Vendor groups allow us to associate vendors who have terms of payment, settlement periods, inventory posting, and default ledger accounts in common. Vendor groups reduce maintenance by allowing Dynamics 365 Finance to define general posting rules for a group of vendors instead of each individual vendor. As you click through, you can see some of the fields are pre-filled based on the legal entity defaults and our personalization. Let's talk about discounts. Under the Purchase Order Defaults tab, we can specify a number of different discount setups, including multi-line, total discount price, and line discount groups. These discounts can be each completely configured to accommodate a wide variety of options. For example, a total discount can be set up to provide a 10% discount if the total of a purchase order is over $5,000. Under the Payment tab, we can establish the terms of payment, the method of payment. We can also establish a payment schedule and a cash discount. Each one of these are completely configurable and will be used to default the value on a purchase order. Let's go ahead and click on Save. Vendors will likely not have the same product name for their products as you will in your organization. To assist with translating these items, Dynamics 365 Finance has the ability to define a vendor item name and description per each released product. To do this, click on Procurement, Setup, External Item Description. And as you can see here, we have a item number, and then an external item number and external description. Dynamics 365 Finance can be configured to show the external value on purchase journals, purchase orders, and return order documents. If the business needs to stop transacting against a certain vendor, for example, the company is no longer conducting business with the current vendor, or the vendor has closed for business, we can put that specific vendor on hold to prevent accidental postings. There are 6 options for vendor holds to allow for maximum hold flexibility in the vendor transaction process. It's very simple to put a vendor on hold. So we'll go ahead and select the vendor. We'll click on Vendor, Maintain, On Hold, and under the vendor hold, we're going to select All so that no posting is possible with the current vendor. We can choose a vendor hold release date. We can choose a reason code for why we're putting the vendor on hold. And we can apply the vendor hold in all legal entities. Let's talk purchase orders. In enterprise environments, purchase orders are typically created through automation such as master planning, dropship orders, and so on. Some organizations require an approval process for procurement. Purchase requisitions provide an out-of-the-box approval workflow and can then be converted to a purchase order. For this demo, however, we're going to create a purchase order manually. Let's navigate to all purchase orders in the current legal entity and create a new PO. We'll go to Accounts Payable, Purchase Orders, Purchase Orders. Here we see all the purchase orders for the current legal entity. We'll click on New, and we'll type in US 101 as our vendor account, hit OK. We've added a line, and now we went ahead and saved. As we click on the header, we can see that there are 3 different purchase types: journal, purchase order, and return order. A journal essentially is a draft and does not impact any inventory calculations or master scheduling. A purchase order is a confirmed order with the vendor and is the most common in the system. It creates inventory transactions, and master scheduling takes these orders into account. A return order is used when goods are returned to the vendor and requires an RMA number. Scrolling down, we see that default values have been filled in based on the vendor that we selected for the purchase order. Cash discount is set to 2% D10, which means that if we pay within 10 days, we will get a 2% discount. Let's confirm the purchase order. Everything's confirmed. Product has arrived at our warehouse. We're going to go ahead and receive the product. We'll take a look at our product receipt journal, and our lines look good. We have 5 Surface Pros in our warehouse. Next step is to generate an invoice. Currently, you have set the system for 3-way matching. We can see that everything passed. Dynamics recognized that the invoice matches the purchase order and the product receipt. We're now ready to invoice. Here we see that we get an error if we do not specify the invoice number. We save it, post, and everything looks good. Again, we can check our invoice journal. We see that we have a voucher number and all our lines have been posted as part of the invoice.